Welcome to Authors Amplified. I am so excited for the author and the book that we have today. Kathryn Mignani is the author of The House the Carpenter Built. And it's an allegory of the greatest love story ever designed with you in mind. And it was such a sweet, sweet, powerful read. So thank you so much for being with me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It was just such a sweet, easy read. I think this would be the perfect book to read like before you go to sleep at night.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's just so sweet and calming and so true. It just is such truth in it. So let's get into the book. Your book is framed as an allegory comparing spiritual transformation to rebuilding a house. Why did you choose this metaphor and what makes it uniquely powerful for readers?
Uh, Good question. So I I have been a follower of Jesus since I was 8 years old. And it just occurred to me as I'm really writing this book in my uh, many decades later that that the Lord was building my life as
Mm,
I grew, and in every stage of my life, He was still working on me in different areas of my life.
mhm.
And actually having engaged in a home improvement project in, a literal home, it really struck me that it's just another example of how the Lord shows us how He's working in our life. And so as we go through our entire lives, there's always something. If you have a home that you're working on,
Mhm.
there's always something. And it's really always toward improvement. It's always positive. It's always building up and not tearing down. And it's just how the Lord works in our lives.
Right. That's so true. In your note from the publisher, your book is described as transcribed from a divine inspiration. Can you elaborate a little bit on that experience? Like what made writing this book feel different from other projects that you've undertaken?
I have to tell you, the publisher surprised me with that section in the book.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did I did not know that was coming
Yeah.
until we reviewed the final draft, and it did
Mhm.
it is so touching. And it's because he knows the story, right? I never set out to be a published author. I Writing for me is it's relaxing, it's cathartic.
Mm.
My spiritual gifts are teaching and encouragement.
Mhm.
And I really just one day back in 2002 just just felt this story inside of me, and it kind of poured out onto paper.
Mm.
And it was never really, I didn't do it with the purpose of being published. I haven't published anything else before. I've never tried to publish something. I mean, to this day, I mean, I do a lot of writing with my work, and so Eric, the publisher,
Mhm.
knows that like it came from somewhere inside
Yeah.
of me, and we know who the author of that is. And it was just, I just had a strong desire to put out in a creative way the beautiful story of the gospel message.
Mm.
And yeah. So I think that's where it came from. And if you read the section in the book, The House the Carpenter Built,
Mhm.
about how this book was built,
Mhm.
it becomes pretty apparent that
Right.
that there was some divine inspiration, and the way that it unfolded since then. And so I think that is the reason for that section in the book.
Yeah, it's so clear because some of the things I'm sure you would think, like that thought couldn't come from me. It had
Right.
to come from the Lord. And
Yes.
I love
Amen.
this direction like that.
Mhm.
The narrative emphasizes finding spirituality. I knew I was going to have a problem with that word. without feeling pressured or preached to. So, what advice would you give to those who have had negative experiences with organized religion and might be hesitant about your book's message?
So that is such an important question, and so sadly, so many people have been hurt by organized religion.
Yes.
And I think the really important thing to do is to follow Jesus and not follow the people who follow
Yeah.
Jesus, because we're all broken,
Hmm.
right? And no one should be following me.
Right.
You should follow the one I'm following because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And I think sometimes what I share with people who have been hurt, because their hurt is real,
Oh, yes.
right? It's real, and it's when it's done in the name of Jesus, then there are wounds that
Hmm.
that are also real. And so I encourage people to follow the truth,
Hmm.
right? If they're truth seekers and
Yes.
they're not forced to put a name with it. Jesus says he is the way, the truth, and
Hmm.
the life. And I trust that he has the ability to introduce himself or reintroduce himself back to him by name.
Right.
So I would say the first step is actually maybe be honest about the wounding that
Hmm.
you've experienced, and don't pretend it's not real, but also recognize that the wounding came from humans who
Yes.
are frail and broken, and to really make the decision for yourself to follow the truth,
Right.
because we all that decision is really that belongs to each one of us individually.
Right. That's true. I always, when I invite people to church and they say, oh no, I got hurt in a church, I'll never go back. I always try to tell them, you've got to separate
Mhm.
Jesus from the people because Jesus is the perfect one. He's the one that will never hurt you, he'll never leave you. And people, we're human beings. We all have things, but I always invite them to please try again.
Yes, that's such good advice. And to know ahead of time that you're going to be walking into a church of people and
Right.
broken people.
Right.
So it's I think expectations need to be realistic, and that really you are looking for the Lord of your life,
Right.
and and to appreciate the
Mm.
people around you who are like-minded, and really also discover what the plan is for your life. That's also, a message in the book
Mhm.
too. It's really one-on-one. It's
Yeah.
it's 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 each one of us walking the path with Jesus, and then he builds our life according to the plan, for the specific unique plan for our life. And that is the desire of my heart, as is in the book. My genuine desire is for everyone who reads the book to know that they're a unique
Mm.
masterpiece
Yes.
designed for honor and significance.
Hmm.
And you're not going to get that message just from our fellow human beings.
Right. Right. There is absolutely nothing like having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. On the flip side, it's also so important to have the fellowship of a church family.
Absolutely, it's critical.
So keep trying until you find one that you're adopted into.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I would say too, if as believers, we have spiritual gifts,
Mhm.
right? So, be intentional about discovering those and exercising those, and see how we can then come alongside other people
Right.
and be in relationship and in community that way. And so it's not always a receiving, because I
Hmm.
think some people
That's
come to
true.
a church looking for, to be filled, which is important.
Yes.
But there's a give and take, and that's what makes us the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Each one of us has something to give, and then we do have needs that the Lord uses others to fill in us.
Right.
And that's how a healthy body operates, is
Right.
when we're working together, and we need each other.
Yeah. Don't be a pew sitter. Like
That's
God,
right.
gift, and you get to use it
That's
once you
right.
figure out what it is and where you are.
Right. Love it.
Throughout the book, the carpenter emphasizes the importance of rest and reflection. Why do you think this principle resonates so deeply today, especially in our busy, productivity-focused culture?
Oh, don't we have such a busy,
It-
productivity
it's
focused
insane.
culture? Yes. It's been a while now, but I used to look at Sabbath,
Mhm,
the concept of Sabbath from Scripture as well, it is a command,
mhm,
but I saw it more as terrible as it sounds, a burden,
mm,
right?
yeah.
Like a sacrifice, I should say.
Mhm, mhm,
And in some sense, especially in our productivity filled society, it is. But then as I started practicing it, and I
mhm.
find this true with spiritual disciplines, right? When you start practicing it, then you suddenly realize this is a gift.
Right.
This is an amazing gift. Sundays, and I realize people can have their Sabbath rest on a different day of the week, but
Yeah.
Sundays are my Sabbath,
Mhm,
and it is my favorite day of the week. And it is so freeing to understand that that our the master architect has designed our lives to need rest.
mhm.
And it's such a gift. Instead of having the mindset that I can't do certain things today
Mhm.
because of this discipline that I'm incorporating in my life, all of a sudden it became for me a what a freedom. I
Mm,
don't have to do these things that the world is pressuring me that I need to have
yep.
done.
Mhm,
And I'll give you one example is
mhm,
that I think you may know that I'm an attorney,
mhm,
and it was a late in life endeavor for me. Um, and so during law school and throughout bar prep, you are told over and over and over it's a 7 day a week, all day, 7 day a week commitment.
mhm,
And I understood what they were saying and that it is significant, but I had a commitment to a higher power.
mhm.
And so I ended up um, yeah, being intentional. And I would say that's another thing about we have to be intentional about our rest.
Yes.
It's not going to just happen. And so I was intentional about my schedule. And even during bar prep, when it was very definitely a 7 day a week thing, I calculated the hours per week divided by six. And and then I did it that way. Um, and I honestly believe that that was a huge reason why I graduated first in my class and I passed the
Wow.
bar the first time.
Mhm,
And uh, and it's also the law of diminishing returns,
mhm.
and I do cover that part in the House the Carpenter Built, where we talk about um, the importance of rest 1 day a week.
Yes.
And in our busy culture, we're so busy we don't even realize that just how stressed and exhausted we are. And we may keep producing, but if we take time to step away and rest the way our bodies were designed to have rest, then we actually become more productive
Right.
and more energy. And so, Sabbath rest really. So Jeff Reed, who wrote the foreword to the book,
Mhm.
is my former pastor, and I remember him giving the message one time about how rest during biblical times really was only afforded to royalty.
Oh.
Every, slaves are the ones who had to work all
Mhm,
the time and whose work never ceased. And it was the royals who could relax
mhm.
and enjoy the privileges that come with a relaxed life. And he made the very important point that we are royalty. We're children of the king.
Yes.
So we should really embrace and enjoy and appreciate the royal position that we share, and that includes just precious rest every
Right.
week.
Right. And along with rest, I think it's very important that we slow down and we enjoy the relationships that the Lord has put into our lives, our family, our friends, spending time with them, enjoying fun things with them, and not always just being so busy that we don't have time to enjoy those little things that the Lord has given us.
You know what? I love that you make that point because I think it would be really easy to take what I said and then just decide, okay, once a week,
Hmm.
I'm just going to go in my room and I'm going to read a book and and just get away from everyone and everything. And what you said is so important. Part of the Sabbath rest is is being with people and and seeing relationships for what they are
Right.
and nurturing those,
Mhm.
and enjoyment is part of the Sabbath too. So
Mhm.
thank you for bringing that out. That's a really important point.
Yeah, I just see that people are so busy that I know, my husband and I have been married 30 years. And when we first started going to church 30 years ago, it seemed like there were so many more get-togethers and so many more people fellowshipping than there is now because everyone is so busy. So I always try to make a point and try to make time and even, like make the plans so that other people can join in to help them to slow down and join in and take time.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because I'm not that person.
Yeah.
So you must have the gift of hospitality,
I do. That
and
is
I
my
and I have the gift of receiving
yeah,
hospitality.
perfect, perfect connection. That's funny. Okay, your story concludes with practical exercises to help readers assess and build their own lives. Can you share one key step that listeners could take immediately to begin their personal rebuilding process?
Oh, that's great. It's so important to identify a specific step. So in the I believe portion of the book that falls right before the section of the book that you're talking about,
Uh-huh.
I say I believe that we all have the opportunity to build meaningful and fulfilling lives regardless of the changing circumstances around us.
Mm-hmm.
And the key really is to have a firm foundation on which to build,
Mm-hmm.
and then to accept each phase with humility and gratitude, pursuing truth
Mm-hmm.
and engaging in healthy community. And
Mm-hmm.
so the first step is that firm foundation. And so I would say, even before establishing the firm foundation, we really have to evaluate where we are now
Right.
to identify whether our foundation is firm and to recognize, what what are we building our lives on? What is the foundation? When I make decisions, what am I relying on as I make those decisions and as I'm building my life? And so I would say just a healthy look and an honest look
Yes.
at what the foundations of our life are, and then deciding what kind of foundation we would like, and then the steps that follow that to ensure that we have the very foundation that we want to build our lives on.
Mm-hmm. In so many aspects, I always say it's like a map. Our lives are like a map. We can't know where we're going if we don't know where we're at. So if you're looking
Oh,
at a map and you're trying to find directions and you don't know where you are on the map, how are you ever going to figure out where you're going?
such a great analogy.
Yeah.
So true. Yes.
I think it's very important for us to realize that everything is not going to change all at once. It's a day by day, step by step. Everything's not going to be like, okay, I'm deciding today that this is how it's going to be, and tomorrow that's how it's going to be. We can slow down, we can realize it's a process.
And that's another really important point. And it I think that's why, another reason why this analogy, the building,
Mhm.
because it's step by step, and you can't rush it.
Nope, that's true.
And there are situations that are going to arise, and deadlines aren't always going to be met,
Mhm.
and mistakes are going to be made,
Yes.
but that doesn't mean that the building isn't still going to happen, but it does mean that those are opportunities for the Lord to build patience in
Yeah.
us and to persevere, and to still know that there's a great plan and that things are moving in the right direction. So
Right.
that was
So
a really good point.
thank you. I
Mhm.
want everyone to be able to get your book and read it. So where can the listeners find the book?
So currently either Amazon
Hmm.
or Barnes and Noble
Oh,
uh,
great.
dot com,
Mhm.
the online Barnes
Okay,
and
wonderful.
Noble. So
Great.
yeah.
I think this is would be a great book to read right before you go to sleep at night. It's like a calming, it's just a calming, peaceful read. I don't know how else to explain it, but it would be perfect to read right before you pray and right before you fall asleep. It's just an amazing book, and I am so thankful and happy that you spent some time with me today. I know you're busy today, but you took the time, and I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, it is my honor, and I love talking about the Lord,
Mhm.
and I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about it, um, and I just, as I put in the book, the my desire for this book, I want to be like that little boy who shared his lunch, 2,000 years ago,
Yes.
that ended up feeding, the multitudes. And that's how Jesus works, right? It's one
Yes.
person sharing what little they have. And this is a little book. It's almost like a children's book, I
A
feel.
little bit
And
powerful. Yes.
oh, thank you. And so the desire of my heart is that the Lord would use it to nourish all that He provides it to. So
I
thank you
thank you.
for helping in that endeavor.
Yes. So the name of the book is The House the Carpenter Built, an allegory of the greatest love story ever designed with you in mind. Thanks for tuning in to Authors Amplified. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and subscribe for more incredible authors next time.